Okay, so let's dive right in. We're going to talk about how technology is completely changing the way we listen to the most important part of any hotel, its people. This is about giving leaders a new kind of superpower, the ability to listen at scale.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? In an industry that's all about people and runs 24/7, how do leaders stay plugged into their team's well being before small frustrations turn into huge problems?
So, to really appreciate where we're going, we've got to take a quick look at where we've been. Let's talk about the traditional way of getting feedback and why, frankly, it just doesn't cut it anymore. On one side, you have the good old annual survey. It's like taking a single photograph of a year-long movie. It's slow, it's tedious, and by the time you actually get the results, the whole story might have changed. But on the other side, you've got continuous feedback. Think of it like a live stream. It's dynamic, it's happening right now, and it gives you insights you can actually do something with. Okay, so now let's flip the script and look at how modern platforms are completely revolutionizing this whole process. And I'm not talking about a small upgrade here. This is a total reimagining of how an organization can listen. Look, it's no longer just about asking someone to circle a number from 1 to 5. The real goal, the game changer, is getting to the why behind that number. It's about understanding the stories, the context, and the day-to-day reality of what it's like to work there. All right, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But how in the world does it actually work? I mean, how can a piece of software possibly understand what hundreds or even thousands of people are really saying and feeling? Well, the secret sauce is a technology called natural language processing, or NLP. Just think of it like this. It's the brain that powers your Siri or Alexa. It teaches computers to understand human language with all its slang and nuance. So it knows the difference between this service is sick, meaning something is awesome, and I feel sick, which is, not so. So here's how it all plays out, step by step. An employee drops some anonymous, open-ended feedback into the system. Instantly, the AI gets to work, analyzing the language, the tone, even the emotion. Then it starts connecting the dots, spotting patterns, and flagging them as key trends. And boom, leadership gets these crystal clear, objective insights, turning all that noise into a coherent signal. Now, this is where it gets really, really smart. The AI isn't just doing a keyword search for tired. No way. It's picking up on related ideas like long hours, no breaks, and too much pressure. And it puts all that together to say, hey, we've got a theme of exhaustion here. It can spot a potential burnout risk long before it ever shows up in your turnover numbers. And let's be real for a second, this brings up a huge practical point. We want our managers out on the floor, leading their teams, right? Not stuck in a back office scrolling through hundreds and hundreds of comments. There's just not enough time in the day. And that is exactly where the AI becomes this incredible partner. It's like having an unbiased assistant who never gets tired and can process everything at once. It takes all those individual comments and synthesizes them into one clear voice of the organization, giving leaders an objective starting point, free from the personal biases we all have. Okay, so we've got all this incredible data, these amazing insights. So what? What's the real-world impact? How does all this information on a dashboard actually translate into a better, more human place to work? Well, for starters, the entire feedback loop gets put on hyperdrive. Instead of that year-long wait, this whole cycle of listening, understanding, taking action, and then checking back in happens in just a matter of weeks. That kind of speed is what turns feedback from a dusty old report into a living, breathing cycle of improvement. And all of this boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful outcome. It creates a continuous conversation. And you know what that builds? Trust. A massive amount of trust, because employees see that their voice actually leads to tangible change, and fast. They finally feel heard. You know what else is amazing about this? It can hear the silence. The AI can actually identify groups, maybe it's the night shift or a particular kitchen crew, that aren't speaking up in normal channels, but whose sentiment scores point to underlying issues. It essentially gives a voice to the voiceless. And when you do all that, when you create a place where everyone feels seen and genuinely heard, this is what happens. Trust goes up. It's not just a nice feeling, it's a direct, measurable outcome. And that right there is the foundation of any great culture. Okay, let's bring this all home. What does this shift really mean for the future of leadership in hospitality? It's way more than just a new tool. It's a whole new blueprint for how to lead effectively. These are the results you can expect. Leaders can now get ahead of problems like burnout before they take hold. They can make smart surgical interventions instead of just throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. They can build a truly inclusive environment and, as a result, create that deep, rock-solid organizational trust. But here's the most important thing to remember. The technology itself isn't the point. The ultimate goal is to use this data to become more responsive, more effective, and more empathetic leaders. The data doesn't build trust. It's the thoughtful, human action that follows the data that makes all the difference.
And this really just says it all. This is about empowering leaders with the insights they need to take better care of their people. It's technology in service of humanity, and that is the absolute essence of hospitality.
So we'll leave you with this one question to chew on. In this age of endless surveys and data points, it's worth asking yourself, is your organization just collecting data? Or is it building the systems and the culture to truly listen? The answer to that question could define your future.